Okay, and let's see, is there anyone we need to say hi to? I don't know. Well, okay, you're all special. How's that? Okay, in any case, Chinese Culture Center is really proud to bring you this educational movie today for free. And this is the first day of our wonderful new partnership we'll be creating with Susan Weeks, owner of this theater. So we hope to see you again and again and again and again and again over the next couple years. Before I introduce Felicia, just wanted to invite you, since all of you obviously enjoy fine, free entertainment. We have more fine, free entertainment for you this Saturday up on Waverly Alley between Washington and Sacramento. We're both closing off both blocks. We will have Jason Liu and Belinda Ho doing sort of music from Shanghai's golden age. We have the Great Wall Youth Orchestra of Laney College. We have Jin Ji, who does sort of electronic world beat with Filipino rhythms. She was here last year, she's fantastic. Marcus Shelby Orchestra. John Jang is, this will be the world premiere of a song that we commissioned, that the Chinese Culture Center commissioned to commemorate Walter Lung, who fought the Chinese Exclusion Act. And unfortunately, that whole history, as we all know, has become very relevant again. So please come to listen to this world premiere of this important work. We've got Ga Sing, who's a well-loved singer in Chinatown, and then we've got Bollywood too. So anyway, come on Saturday. Some of you may also know we do sort of Chinese history excursions. Our next one is September 30th to Lock. And then we also do Chinatown walks. So find us. You can go on our website and book a tour. And so finally, the thing you're here for, let me introduce Felicia. Now, I think a lot of you have been hearing Felicia's name for a long time, and she's really possibly our most loved documentarian of our story. Remember a day not too long ago when no one was telling our story from our side, and Felicia's one of the people who started that up. So we're really proud to be here. Let me read you the official things. Felicia Lowe is a Bay Area native and veteran filmmaker. Are you a Bay Area native? Okay, this is true?
No, I'm blind.
Okay, all right. So I have to check, right? Okay, she's a veteran filmmaker whose award-winning documentaries have been shown on television and in classrooms across the country. Chinese Couplets is her latest film, a personal documentary which focuses on the legacy of the Chinese Exclusion Act on one family over 2 centuries and 3 countries, through 4 generations of women. That was hard to say. Okay, she received an Emmy, okay, for Best Cultural Documentary for Chinatown, Hidden Cities of San Francisco, which is what we're watching today. So, whoa, big hand. Emmy. Standing next to an Emmy Award winner. I've never done that before. Wow. Okay, and then we have Carved in Silence, a documentary about the experience of Chinese immigrants detained on Angel Island, the immigration station in China, land of my father, a trip she took to China in 1979. You went earlier than I did. Wow, okay, that's a long, okay, I would say how long ago that was. Okay, we're both groundbreaking films and revealing aspects of the Chinese American experience. Prior to her documentary work, she was a reporter on Channel 7. Remember when we used to watch the news on television? And taught film production. A descendant of Angel Island detainees, she has been actively involved in the preservation of Angel Island Station. So great. Here you go.
I just want to say a few things. One, thank you so much for coming out today. And 2, we have some of the participants in the film here today. I'm including Charlie Chin, who was the narrator on the film. Charlie, stand, wave your arms about, dance. And next to him is Jenny Lim, whose poetry is featured in this film. She'll also be participating in the music festival on Saturday. And I have Pat Chin, who's, raise your hand though if you're here. Anyway, enjoy the film, and I'll be back here for Q&A afterwards. Thank you.
Are you out there somewhere? So we had a couple volunteers working on putting this together and calling people. So thanks. Okay.
He was in the film as well. So if you have any questions, Ryan will run with the mic to you. Yes. He's all the way back there, Ryan.
Test. My name's Steve Hong. I run. Is that a... Okay. Hello. My question is, I'll just talk really loud. If some of us are like me, we both grieve and celebrate things we saw in the film, I'd be curious, Ms. Lowe, what are some things that you both celebrate and grieve since the production of the film? Things that has changed since the film that you both celebrate and grieve?
Well, I grieve the loss of some of the people who are in the film, who have gone now and passed and contributed so much in their own individual ways. That's obvious for me. You know, what's obvious and difficult now is the fact that we're in fact moving backwards a bit because of the political circumstances. And of course also the gentrification that's happening, that's creating more havoc in terms of housing and so forth. There are plenty of people in this audience who work right in the heart of Chinatown who probably have some thoughts on it, and they're welcome to join the conversation. But I think it's important, first of all, that we document what we could and what was, and in many respects, many of those things are still alive, and the organizations that have created a lot of the change are as vibrant and more as ever, and more powerful, and making and contributing more over the years, and have learned how to work the system and have really benefited the community. There's always that downside, you know, of what San Francisco, Chinatown is affected as any other part of San Francisco, and so of course that's a sad part, and I think something people try to deal with as much as they can. Are there any other comments or questions? Yes?
What year did you make this?
This film was made in 1996, released in 96, finished in 95. I thought it'd be a robust question in this group. Charlie, I have to ask you, does it hold up?
It's wonderful.
Yeah. But also, I have to ask the same of Jenny.
Yeah, great. I mean, it holds up after all these years.
She was a very good sport when I said, how about whether she would be willing to do what we call opera drag and put her face all in the Chinese opera makeup to do her poetry. And after they removed it, she broke out. So she was a good sport about all of that.
Hi, Felicia.
Hi, Russ.
This is a classic. It's a classic. It's just like it happened yesterday. I lived through a lot of this. A lot of the people, as Felicia said, are gone. Many of those that are not gone are retired, like myself. Also, just for background, and maybe you can add to it, this year is the 40th anniversary of the I Hotel eviction. And they just had a celebration recently. Let you pick it up from there.
Well, you're the expert on that one, but you know, what we do know is, of course, it took many more years than they had thought to rebuild that space, and so many of the people who were evicted never did benefit from being able to move back in. The space now, though, is part of the renewed kind of a Kearny Street workshop, parts of it, and then there's a Chinese school there, and there's housing. So, but housing is still an issue here in Chinatown. I think we all know that. Anybody else? Ryan, over here. Although, yeah, you might as well. It's kind of going in and out, that mic.
In addition to housing, what are the current problems of the people of Chinatown now?
Boy, I don't feel like I'm the person to talk to about it, you know. You know, I live in Lowe Valley, and I don't know the heart of what's going on now. Can somebody volunteer that information? Gordon, you must know some stuff still. Yes, I bet you can.
First of all, thank you, Felicia. It's great to see that everyone looks exactly the same as we did.
I know we put on this white wigs today, just for the heck of it.
As been mentioned, many of the same problems persist. Housing, gentrification, displacement, and it's not just poor people getting forced out, it's families getting forced out of Chinatown, and small businesses that cannot afford to rent anymore. So many of those problems face every neighborhood in San Francisco. Chinatown is so small and congested that they're really magnified. You'll be hearing more statistics as the months ahead about the loss of families in Chinatown. And I think that's really sort of a touchstone on what's really most important in keeping a neighborhood together. Is families, children, and generations. So we have made big challenges ahead, and as Felicia said, we have also tremendous leadership to struggle through these times and make it a better day. And that struggle is, of course, locally and nationally. As you read about the new immigration law that's been proposed to reduce by half family reunification in this country. So that struggle is in front of us as we speak. I was just mentioning that the RAISE Act proposed by a couple of Congress people, Republican, proposes to reduce family reunification in this country by 1/2. So our struggle is before us the next few years, because if there's anything that's most important to Chinese Americans and all immigrants, it is families and the right, as your film points out, of families being able to reunify, whether it's Chinese Americans, Arab Americans, Latino Americans, and that's really what made this country great, is immigrants. So the story of Chinatown is a story of not only immigrant America, but the story of America. And we all need to fight to keep that story alive.
Thank you. Well, if there are no further questions, I do want to encourage you to stay to see Forever Chinatown, James Chan's film, half-hour film. It even has Chinese subtitles if you can read Chinese. I'll be around outside if you want to talk to me privately. Okay, thank you so much.